Welcome back to San Antonio Living. Homeowners associations, most of us have them, and most of us follow their rules. Board members are voted on and then elected into office. But what about a rigged election? That's what homeowners in one Northeast Side neighborhood are claiming about what happened at their latest HOA meeting. Angry neighbors in the Ventura subdivision packed their meeting last week to kick out the board president, only to be told that they would not be allowed to vote. And News 4 WOAI troubleshooter Brian Collister is joining us this morning to tell us a little bit more about what happened at that big meeting.
Well, it was crazy, I'll tell you that much. We've gotten a lot of complaints from homeowners over the last couple of months about HOAs, and this story really sort of takes the cake. Watch this. It's an election where the homeowners were supposed to vote, but they didn't get to cast a vote.
That is not leading the people. That is not representing the people that are in this homeowners association.
Angry homeowners made it clear to HOA Board President Lisa Pfeiffer they don't like the way she's running the Ventura Homeowners Association. This overflow crowd of more than 200 tried to cram into the HOA office for its annual meeting Tuesday night. Many showed up after watching our troubleshooter story Monday, revealing Pfeiffer has spent more than $80,000 suing several homeowners, and that she's closed board meetings to all residents.
We homeowners showed up in force, thinking that's what we needed to do, but we didn't even have an opportunity to vote.
You see, these HOA members say Pfeiffer pulled a fast one. The board president was up for re-election, and according to this meeting notice that she sent out, nominations for her board seat could be made here at the meeting. But instead, Pfeiffer stunned the crowd by going back on her word and refusing to let homeowners nominate anyone else or even cast a vote. Pfeiffer claims she already had proxy votes submitted before the meeting, needed to re-elect herself and a friend to the board, and meeting closed.
The president of the board already had her agenda. She did not allow any input, was refusing to even listen to us.
These homeowners tell me they're not going to let this neighborhood bully get away with this. They plan on filing a lawsuit to block the results of Tuesday's supposed election. We're going to keep following this story and let you know what happens next.
Well, we are joined now by Peter Kilpatrick. He is an attorney at law. And tell me now how you're involved with this case.
Well, I'm not actually officially engaged yet, but I've been contacted by a number of homeowners. I've met with a number of them, and I anticipate in the next day or two being officially engaged by a number of homeowners who, as you could see from Brian's excellent piece there, feel completely disenfranchised at that annual meeting last week.
That was that's a crazy meeting. There were some serious angry people there, and it's an important situation because it is your home and you are giving money to this association for years and years and years, and it's a pretty important situation. Why do you think they were so involved in this?
Well, they wanted to have a say. You know, the night before the meeting we reported that the president had spent $80,000 suing several homeowners, so it's important that they have a say. And you know, Peter, I'll ask you, when you see that as a lawyer, what's wrong with that situation?
Well, there is nothing more fundamental to the notion of due process than having an opportunity to vote. And in this case, when you're a member and you're paying those assessments and you belong to an association and you're told there's an annual meeting where you can go and elect or vote for who you want at that annual meeting, and you go and you're told you can't even nominate anyone from the floor, despite the spirit and the import of the bylaws, and despite the fact that the meeting notice itself said that there would be nominations from the floor taken, and I understand more than 100 folks came with the idea of voting for someone other than the two who wanted to be installed by the board. It's very disturbing. It's very disturbing to anyone that has any passing interest in the interest of democracy. It's outrageous.
You know, this is a pretty extreme situation, but I hear from a lot of people, and I'm sure you do too, they're just upset with their homeowners association. As a homeowner, what kind of rights do you have when dealing with your association?
Well, number one, you have the right to vote at an annual meeting.
Number one,
All
most
right,
important.
so that's not in dispute, or it shouldn't be in dispute. I guess it may be in this particular case. In terms of other rights, a homeowner has a right when they're assessed for collections, not to be the subject of unreasonable collection practices. They should pay their assessments, but not unreasonable collection fees and interest and fees upon fees and what I call mystery fees, which sometimes can just escalate to such a point where a $200 assessment fee is a lawsuit for $20,000 when you consider attorney's fees that are being sought and to foreclose on one's home.
Now, one of the questions I get a lot from homeowners is I want to see the financial records of my HOA and they won't let me.
Well, when they say they won't, you can't have those financial records, that's something that's fundamentally wrong, because homeowners associations are by and large nonprofit Texas corporations. So to that extent, they live in glass houses, and practically every document in their office is subject to inspection rights of a member, save and except a few minor things like attorney-client privilege things and maybe personnel issues and things of that nature. But 95% plus of any HOA's documents, including their financials, including their financial statement, including their balance sheet, including their financial statement, including their interactions with the bank, all by statutory right, the homeowner has a right to inspect and copy those documents.
Brian, what's the next step in this story?
Well, we're going to wait and see if in Ventura they file a lawsuit to basically throw out this election and have what they say should be a fair election.
Well, this is definitely something that we're going to continue to follow. If you've got questions about your homeowners association, you can certainly contact the troubleshooters. Just send them an email at troubleshooters@woaitv.com, and we'll bring you more information about this story as we get it from Brian. Thank you so much for coming today, and thanks, Peter, as well. Up next on San Antonio Living, it's time to talk about fall trends. Carol Dorsey Walker is here from Bejeweled. We'll show you what's hot this week.